Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Join Us today. We're coming to you live from our studios in Kokomlemiri on DGT because we're free to air on DSTV channel 421 and Go TV channel 125. We are your home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. Coming up this afternoon, scores of first-time voters are waiting long queues to be registered as a limited voter registration comes to an end today. We'll take you around the country for an assessment of the last day of the exercise. Also this afternoon, minority in Parliament to kickstart processes in Parliament to censure and remove Attorney General Godfrey Dame following publication of an audio recording allegedly showing the AG tampering with a witness. More as the AG is being advised not to only resign but to also render an unqualified apology to the public to restore confidence in the office he occupies. Plus, Speaker of Parliament Alban Bagbin gives former Special Prosecutor Martin Amidwe a 7-day ultimatum to apologize for malicious publication of Faith the Consequences. We have details of the Speaker's statement shortly. And in our Dumso Diaries today, we'll take you to the Ashanti region where private morgues are struggling to preserve bodies due to extended power cuts.
Refuses to function. The bodies are not well kept due to the outages. It's destroying our businesses. Families get frustrated anytime they get here to see their bodies dry.
My name is Aisha Ibrahim. We're also live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and X Spaces at Joy News on TV. My personal handle is @Denana Aisha. Please do stay for details. Despite the fact that today is the last day for the limited voters registration exercise, many first-time voters are still lining up at various centers in Accra waiting to be registered. The exercise was originally supposed to end last Monday, but the Electoral Commission extended it by an additional 2 days. The extension was to compensate for the issues and delays that occurred at the start of the registration process, ensuring that everyone eligible had a fair chance of registering. In the Upper West region, one would have expected the Electoral Commission's offices to be flooded with a number of prospective voters for the registration exercise on the last day of the exercise. But in the Nandom municipality, the situation is different as registration officers are on a virtual holiday. Joining us is Upper West regional correspondent Rafiq Salam was there a few hours ago and now reports.
I'm not aware of which party brought who. I just see the applicants and I deal with them, and we
are currently at the EC office in Nandom where registration exercise is ongoing. 23 days they have been able to register 1,015 prospective voters. Today is the last day. A lot of people are expected to be part of the last minute registration exercise, but at the moment we have spotted one personality who came to do the exercise. The party agents here, there are no problems. They are on a virtual holiday. And according to the Electoral Commissioner here, he told us that they are not going to leave any stone unturned in registering people who are guided by the rules, who the rules have supported to be part of the system. Reporting for Joy News, Rafiq Salam, Nando.
The Nandom Electoral Officer Isaac Akotoda refutes claims they had registered minors and foreigners. He said all the issues are being thoroughly dealt with.
I'm not aware of which party brought who. I just see the applicants and I deal with them, and we work with them. I'm not aware of this party or this party, what this party is doing. No. And I have given you the breakdown of the DRC citizens, the challenges that have come before us, the number of people we have cleared, the number of minors who have been considered disqualified. So that is what I am aware of. But we are not into this party did this party. I'm not aware of all that. But yes, there were instances where minors and foreigners were brought here, but we have dealt with them according to the laid down procedures.
Let's touch base with our reporters across the regions for some assessment. I'll start with the Upper West region, where Rafiq Salam is monitoring the exercise for us. Rafiq, what more can you report from today, the last day of the voter registration exercise?
As you rightly put it, many will have expected a lot of people to cram the various registration centers. But from the look of things, it appears it's not going to be that way. I am still at Nandom, where I visited the registration centers right there. And then only one person came to do the registration this morning. According to the municipal electoral officer, Isaac Akoto Dako, who told me that the past few days they have been registering zeros. No people, no prospective voters are popping up for the registration. And so the situation, they are not expecting many people to be part of it. They have registered so far 1,015 prospective voters. And so they don't expect many people to cram their offices and Nandam here for registration exercise.
Rafiq Salam with that update from the Upper West region. Let's head to the Northern region. Martina Buguri is also on standby for us. Martina, what can you report from the Northern region?
The Northern region, the situation is not different from what Rafiq just reported. Today being the final day, we anticipated bigger numbers, but it looks like they've dealt with the numbers already. So I visited the Tamale Metro offices, Tolong and Sanerigu. At Sanerigu, we still have some numbers, but largely most of the centers are virtually on a holiday. No much work to be done. And that's basically what's happening in the Northern region here.
Martina Buguri is from the Northern region with that update. Let's go to the Ashanti region. Nana Boachi Yadom has been monitoring the exercise there for us. Nana, what can you report from the Ashanti region?
Well, Aisha, we are currently live at the Ashanti Regional EC head office here in the Inshayaso constituency. The head office is hosting 4 constituencies in Inshayaso, Bantama, Menchia South and the Menchia North constituency. Well, we all know that the electoral process or the registration process had to end today, but due to the extension being provided by the EC, had to end on the 27th, but then due to the extension being provided by the EC, it is ending today. When we came here this very morning, we've seen a number of students from various schools trooping in to participate in the registration exercise. We can see students from the Kumasi Wesley Girls Senior High School here, and then Opokuwari School also came here. I can also see students from the Kumasi Secondary Technical School also coming in to participate in the limited voter registration exercise. It has been 21 days plus 2 of the limited registration exercise, and then the first day or the first week when the process started, a lot of challenges was being witnessed by the agents of these various political parties. The EC swiftly responded to that and then placed in measures to make sure that the process went on smoothly. Today we are here to monitor the process, and we can see that a number of people are still here to participate in the registration exercise. I have an agent for the NDC. I want to find out briefly from him how the process has been since it started. How has it been generally?
So far so good. I think you particular, you have been here with us since day one. Today being the last day, we thank God everything is successful, smoothly. The only problem we were encountering is about the network challenge. Even this morning, the network went off, and we waited for the network has now restored, and they are registering. So we thank God everything is smooth. But the only problem we have is the students that we are registering. Yesterday, it was chaos here. He wasn't here because of the students. People are challenging them, are challenging their age, and then the residential place that they used to register. Right now, you can see Wesley High School here. They had been in my constituency, that's Menchia North. A lot of them, some came from North, some came from Greater Accra, and before the person can be able to vote, you need to transfer your vote from here to the place that you go back, because all of them will be completing school very soon, and then the transfer process will be started tomorrow. And I don't know whether they can catch up with the transfer process so that they can transfer their vote to their various places that they are going to vote. That's the only problem we are seeing here, because a lot of them will register at the end of the voting day. They can't even identify their polling station and then go and vote. Aside that, everything was smooth. We were here with the security, was very nice to us. And then those who are registering the electoral committee too, they are too very nice to all the parties. So we thank God everything is very...
But I mean, looking at the number of people still coming in to participate in the registration exercise, would you add up to calls for the EC to again extend the process?
For now, I don't think we need any extension.
Okay.
I don't know other places, but we as a metro, I don't think we need any extension, because recently, if you have been here, you can see here is totally empty because of the today having to be with the students. That's why you can see people inside. Other than that, I don't advocate for any extension.
All right, thank you so much. And that is the agent for the National Democratic Congress. The NPP agent is also here. I mean, how has the process been for you too?
I'll say it has been a success. The only challenge was the first 2 days where we had problems with the network. But apart from that, everything has been a success and devoid of any violence and other stuff. Except since it's a human institution, you have to get 1 or 2 big hitches. But apart from that, it has been a success. And I heard my brother Mandela being talked about that we are registering minors. You see, we the MPP always do due diligence before we bring these students here. One, these students that you see today here are people within Menchia North constituency. They are within my catchment area. And before bringing them, I carefully selected students who are in the constituency and who have not registered but have attended universal adult suffrage. That is the 18 years. So I'm surprised he always saying we are registering people who are not within the constituency. It's a falsehood and disregard that information as such. Those students, I repeat, and let's put it on record, the students you see here are students within the constituency and within the catchment area. We've not based or we've not brought students from Wesley High School who are not within the constituency. Of what good would that do to the constituency? So these kids you see here are within the constituency.
All right, thank you very much. But then lastly, would you add up to calls for an extension, looking at the number of students coming in to participate in the exercise? I mean, a lot of people are still coming.
No.
And that's Nana Boache Yadom with some party agents at the vote registration exercise center who say they've been satisfied with the exercise so far. We'll bring you more of this on Election Brief at 2. Now, ahead of Parliament resuming on 11th June, the minority have kick-started the process to initiate a censure motion against Attorney General Godfrey Adame in the alleged witness tampering scandal. The NDC on Tuesday published a phone recording allegedly showing the AG coaching an accused person, Richard Jakba, to fabricate evidence against minority leader Dr. Kasiela Tofosen, and have demanded that the AG resign or be fired by the president. The NDC minority have vowed to get to the bottom of the allegations and will use the route of censure if the president does not act. Listen to Minority Chief Whip Kwame Govins-Agboja speaking to my colleague Kwekwa Asante.
There are so many people in MPP who can occupy the position, a higher position of, Attorney General, Minister of Justice. Godfrey Adame is the last person that should occupy that position. His lack of understanding of procurement, his lack of decorum, his lack of integrity is glaring. Isn't it, very shocking? The same Attorney General who is prosecuting somebody on a case like this, which doesn't even exist, actually authorized the payment of $2.5 million to Motor Angels on the motorway when there was no contract. Actually sat there when $2 million was paid for SkyTrain. Actually sat there when $11 million was paid for the Polugu. And this Attorney General doesn't find anything wrong with it. This is not politics. This is an attempt to actually sanitize the judiciary, because if everything fails, the judiciary must be able to bring sanity in our environment. And unfortunately, Godfrey Adame does not qualify to be Attorney General. I can count 100 people right now in MPP who have more integrity, who should be occupying that position. And I believe the president must take a decision currently.
Back on the 11th, well, are you going to make a motion on the floor?
Certainly. This is a very serious matter that must not be left to go. I mean, you can see that all the things, he's actually even said things that are very incriminating. He claimed that he was entrapped. It turns out that nobody, in fact, he suggested the venue for the meeting. So who wants to have this person as an attorney general?
Meanwhile, lecturer at the University of Ghana School of Law, Professor Kweja P.J. Tua, says the Attorney General should not only resign, but must render an unqualified apology to the public to restore confidence in the office he occupies.
Based on the tape released by the NDC, it seems clear that the image of the Attorney General's office has been tarnished.
Why do you say that? Which specific parts of the tape leads you to that conclusion?
Well, I get it clearly that the Attorney General was trying to influence the third defendant, Mr. Jakwa, to more or less coerce him or find a way for him to doctor his evidence in order to nail the first defendant and to make him culpable for the offense or the charges that have been leveled against him. And I also was concerned by the suggestion that he should even go for an excuse duty in order not to come to court. I think these are all issues that affect the image and credibility of the Attorney General's office. And the fact that he's saying, I hope it's not being recorded and so on, that tells me that the person has something to hide. And so these are issues which, listening to the tape, made me realize that if it happens that the tape, the contents are not doctored, they are true, then certainly the image of the office has been tarnished. That is why I was proposing that he knows better than we do. He knows the truth. He should, if it is true, he should do the honorable thing and resign. And if not, the president should relieve him of his position.
Well, a member of the National Executive Committee of the NDC, Wanda Victor Kucho, says the current scandal is enough reason to split the office of the Attorney General from the Ministry of Justice.
I mean, it's worrying that an Attorney General, a Minister for Justice, will be trying to corner witness just to move his issue, his case in a particular direction, to jail somebody. I mean, what is it? You're not just the Attorney General, but you're a Minister for Justice. Yours is not just to secure a jail, a conviction, to make your party people happy, but you are supposed to be there for the people of Ghana. You understand? So what is it? Should everything be about politics? You're a Minister for Justice, for Christ. You remember that there's always been this dilemma. Should we separate the office of the Attorney General from that of the office of the Minister for Justice? You remember this debate has been on and on. I think this is a classic example that goes to show that there's a need to separate the office of the Attorney General from that of the Minister for Justice. Respectfully, it appears the Honorable Dami has targeted himself. They have just played tapes for you. Mr. Dami, the witness kept telling him that no, his conscience. I mean, he said that his conscience, he cannot move in a particular direction. And it appears that the Honorable Dami, you know, this law, there are some areas that you may not be vested in. It appears that the Honorable Dami has some little challenges with international trade. The recordings have been played. If the Honorable Dami thinks that the recordings are false, he should come out within the next 24 hours to deny them. You understand? The SBIT, the WhatsApp messages are there. Why do you want to meet witness, to coach him and all of that before he appears before the court?
Recent power outages in parts of the country is taking a toll on private mosques in the Ashanti region. Some private mosques in the region are struggling to preserve bodies with extended power cuts that often last more than 12 hours per day. The situation has left many grappling with unexpected fuel costs and hastily arranged burials. Nana Boache Iadam has been monitoring this and has more in this report.
The stadium. Okay, let's go.
Not just the living suffocates when the lights goes off and on. The dead also swelter. The current erratic power supply does not just affect our homes and businesses, but the home of the dead and the business of the mortuary man. In today's episode of Dumso Diaries, we tell you the crestfallen stories of morgues suffering from the intermittent power cuts. The recent electricity woes have taken on a new urgency, posing unprecedented challenges for private morgues. The relentless power cuts have triggered an alarming issue that goes beyond just inconvenience, but the rapid decomposition of corpses. The city morgue is among several morgues in Kumasi, bearing severe economic challenges as a result of the intermittent power cuts. Kwame Osueje is a mortician at the City Morgue Limited.
Do some here, fuel na company betono, enye fuel kitiwa. Do something there, idea I had with my edumano, do baby a more motivation because can you now go the police station for ni nasi for to do something there hard to do something there
The company is left to spend so much on fuel. The situation is affecting our business. Something must be done for us to benefit. Families complain. We have to work extra mile to keep the bodies. Bodies are decomposing more rapidly than usual due to recent power disruptions. Kwame explains how frustrating it is to perform his duties. Lights in this bodies not at the same.
Oh, that was fresh. At the Sawakoku store, Akotonam, ice na Afrim.
We do suffer a lot as attendants. The outages keeps the body dry, which is not what we expect. It is like losing the eyes on meat bought from the cold store. The bodies are infected and they are not well preserved when the light goes off.
So my chemicals, Umani available ekoni mukama ba watumi anye ankoni muna se bia body no yidu ko to fridge mu fresh say bia meba beye na wantumi anye sanoma na ma bed edum so na body no benya de benya infected.
The situation presents grieving families with a difficult decision to hurriedly conduct funerals while adding additional stress, emotional torture, and significant monetary strains to their already challenging times. Kofi Odro explains the challenge families go through. The plant sometimes refuses to function. The bodies are not well kept due to the outages. It's destroying our businesses. Families get frustrated anytime they get here to see their bodies dry. Mortician Kwame J is pleading with authorities to provide a load shedding timetable to help enhance his work.
We
plead with government to do something about the intermittent power cuts. We want something to be done as soon as possible, at least a timetable. For Joy News, Nana Boachidankwe Yadum, Kumasi.
This afternoon, workers of the produce buying company of Cocoa Board are mounting pressure on government as they threaten strike over 10 months unpaid salaries. The aggrieved workers gathered at the Cocoa Board head office in the Ashanti region, clad in red, enraged by management's refusal to pay their salaries after several engagements. They want management to immediately make payments to avert an industrial action. Sete Duse, who is vice chairperson of the Workers' Union, has been speaking at a press conference, and they've also been making claims this afternoon.
In case of any emergency, we use some of this money to defray it. Over a period of time, we have tagged or named this particular thing as a sample residue. This sample residue, when you combine it from the period of 2016-2017 or 2017-2028, this money could have also have used to clear some of this stock of 5,471 stock. It is a figure that we want management to also come and account for. In our financial statement, we have not seen any provision made for the sample residue. Who is holding the sample residue? Which account does the sample residue fall into? We are again asking Yoko to come and investigate the sample residue quantum of the money that management is still holding. Recently, we oversaw that management has started auctioning some of our properties. When we call them to order and ask them, why are they doing this? What are they using this money for? They told us that they are using the money to settle electricity bills. So a few months ago, some of our articles were dispatched and went to our neighboring country where there is a war blown. Niger, when this article was sent there, it was pounded. Before it was pounded, it was in operation. These vehicles went there without the notice of staff. The money that was accumulated from the operations over the so far, we want management to come and explain to us how much have they been able to accumulate and which account is this money sitting. And if this money happens to sit in a particular account, why are they not using some to settle all these electricity bills other than to fall on the auctioning of the company assets? Therefore, we want Yoko to look into this particular issue. Who is holding to that particular amount of money? We will never accept it. They should let us know. As a company, there is something that we call Provident Fund. Most companies in this country knows about it. As a staff, whenever we are being paid our salary, the salary started from a gross point of view, and there are certain deductions will be made. These deductions, the Provident Fund is part of it. So far, all the deduction that has been done hasn't yet been paid to us for a period of about 6 years now. The last time when we confronted management, they claimed that those monies were deducted only on paper, but in physical terms, the money is not there. How can you go and deduct and tell me that the money is not in account? As a professional accountant, as she is, don't she think that the Institute of Chartered Accountant can call her to order? As a professional accountant, how can you tell me that you have deducted my money, but the money is on paper, but not in the physical terms? I am also calling on Institute of Chartered Accountants to also come and investigate into this situation and use their ethics as a profession to charge our F&A to explain to us why she will only do this on paper, but not also in terms of physical, into our various accounts. Again, we are also asking the government to come into our aid. For a period of 10 months now, we haven't yet been given a salary. Management always go to office and work. Some of them have taken months, whilst we are suffering for this 10 solid months. Some of them are taking salaries. So we want government to intervene as soon as possible. If the company happens to have a particular problem, it is two things. He either writes to us and tell us that I brought you these people to work with, but I've come to realize I cannot continue with them any longer. Therefore, I want to close down the company. So whatsoever we are entitled to, then they come on board and pay to us. But for us to be left there, we're not receiving salary, but management is receiving salary. Yes. This is cheating. Who can you do this to? This is disheartening. It doesn't have to happen under President Kufuor, whom we know is a very strong legal person. This thing, when it is brought to his chamber to go and deal with, how will he take care of some of these issues? Staff that has family. We feed our children. Yes. We feed our wives. Yes. We do other things apart from our family. So all these things are on board. Nobody is helping us with this. Yes. We have sounded a lot of information to this country, both opposition and then ruling government. Nobody is listening to us. Yes.
A research conducted by Plan Ghana shows 27.2% of rural girls in northern Ghana miss out on school due to issues of menstruation. The research also revealed that in Wild West, 83% of rural girls engage in transactional sex to be able to make money to buy sanitary pads. This was disclosed at a ceremony to mark this year's World Menstrual Hygiene Day in Tamale. Head of programs at the Savannah Signatures Etel, Emefa Ella, who disclosed this, said that transactional sex highlighted in the research in Wild West District is representative of what is happening in most areas across northern Ghana.
The World Menstrual Hygiene Day is a day set aside to draw attention of stakeholders to the challenges girls face during their menses, especially in school, and how to get these challenges addressed. Some of the challenges that have come up range from cost of sanitary pads to water and changing rooms in schools. Speaking after a peaceful demonstration in Tamale, the head of programs at Savannah Signatures, Etel Emefa Ella, said they will continue to advocate for the reduction of sanitary pads.
The current research done by Plan International and some other individuals show about 25% of students, of rural girls have missed school as a result of their menstrual cycle. So it's a grave issue, it's a very important issue that we need to tackle, which is why we have gathered the Ghana Education Service as well as the Ghana Health Service and students from a number of schools to gather and do this procession to talk to authorities to take a look, to listen to the cries of girls in Ghana. We will not relent because I think the cries and the advocacy is working. Somewhere towards the end of last year when we were reading the budget, because of advocacy work done by CSOs in the space, we did see some, good news, I would say, where we had the finance minister announce to us that government has decided to remove some taxes from local manufacturers of sanitary products. It means that, yes, that's an achievement that we have chalked, but we cannot relent because we know and believe that there's more that can be done.
Some of the girls who took part in the peaceful demonstration thanked the organizers for the platform offered them. They also appealed to government to take off more taxes to help reduce the prices of sanitary pads.
I also want to plead to government to take the taxes from sanitary pads to help every girl have one, so that every month that person can flow, so that every month girls can have the opportunity to afford sanitary pads.
I want to thank this organization for bringing this platform for all girls to educate us more on menstrual cycle and everything. I also want to thank you people for involving our school and every other girl to introduce this platform to all of us.
Speaker of Parliament Alban Gbagban has given former Special Prosecutor Martin Amidu a 7-day ultimatum to withdraw and render a personal apology to him as Speaker and the Parliament of Ghana for statements he deems malicious and false. Mr. Amidu, in a recent publication, alleged that the Speaker held a secret meeting with President Akufo-Addo in Dubai before he returned to Parliament for proceedings on the 2022 budget. The publication, according to the Office of the Speaker of Parliament, is part of an ongoing deliberate attempt to tarnish his reputation. And there's a statement that the Speaker shared asking asking Martin Amido, former OSP, to render an unqualified apology or face his wrath. That statement is on myjournline.com. You can get more of that. Let's take a break on Joy News today. When we return, that's business.
Welcome. Now let's do business with me, Emma Davis. The Economic Community of West African States has reiterated the need for West African economies to leverage information communication technology in the pursuit of economic prosperity, peace and security. Speaking at an event to mark the 49th ECOWAS Day celebration at the Ghana Communication Technology University, resident representative of ECOWAS in Ghana, Baba Ghana Wakil, said it is virtually impossible for any economy to grow and compete favorably without developing critical digital assets and credentials. Here's a report.
Information communication technology has been described as a critical resource vastly needed to close the gap in efforts to achieve digital transformation in several vital sectors across the economy. Baba Ghana Wakil is the resident representative of the ECOWAS Commission in Ghana.
Digitalization, in which, by the way, Ghana is doing very, very well in the sub-region, should not be limited to the economic landscape. It is also in the socio-political and security landscape, where digital tools such as cybersecurity and data analytics have become vital components in the fight against terrorism and other transnational crimes.
Vice Chancellor of the Ghana Communication Technology University, Professor Emmanuel Ohene Afuakwa, lauded ECOWAS for its continuous support in the digital space.
In an increasingly digitized world, ECOWAS, just like GCTU, is working towards bridging the digital divide and harnessing the potential of information and communication technologies to expand access to quality education, particularly in remote and underserved areas. As an institution, we believe that there is unbridled potential for the development of education and indeed development through education. And I anticipate that through the strengthening of our collaboration, our two organizations will be well placed to continue to make even more critical impact in the long-term development of the sub-region.
ECOWAS Day is celebrated every 28th of May to honor the vision of our founding fathers and the huge sacrifice of our member states and citizens in creating a single socio-economic and political space for peace and prosperity for all.
Chairman of Development Bank Ghana, Dr. Yao Ansu, is upbeat about Ghana's fintech sector owing to the successful 3i Africa Summit held in Accra. According to him, the summit provided an array of opportunities for both experienced and upcoming entrepreneurs in the fintech space to learn and share other innovative ways of growing the financial landscape. Dr. Yao Ansu spoke to Joy Business.
Our objective is to use this. We hope this will be one of many such events that will help establish Ghana as fintech. How people talk about in Africa about fintech, they immediately think about Ghana because of the 3i Summit. The pillars of the 3i: innovation, investment, and impact. And I think for the first event, the scale, the quality of the presenters, the visitors, I think we were very happy. And it's something that we hope to build on, both in terms of the partnership with the BOG and also the Singaporean, so that we leverage Ghana into a recognized fintech hub for Africa.
That'll be all for business. I am Emma Davis. For more business news, do log on to myjoyonline.com. JN Today continues. Please stay.
Time for sports on JN Today. My name is Harun Mubarak. Now, Black Stars captain Andre Ayew has been dropped from Otoado's 26-man squad to face Mali and the Central African Republic in the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers. Now, let's quickly go through the squad list there. And we've got Atizigi, who is our goalkeeper. We have Joseph Wolacott. We have Frederick Asare, and that is Asante Kotoko's goalkeeper. He is the only home-based player in the squad, Frederick Asare. We have Gideon Mensah, Ebenezer Anan, Mohamed Salisu, Jerome Opoku, Abdul Momen, Alexander Jiku, Ali Duseidu, Tariq Lamte, who has done so well for Brighton, Mohamed Kudus, also for West Ham. We have Enes Nuyama, Salis Abdul Samed, Ibrahim Suleimana, and that is his debut call-up there. He plies his trade in Italy for Cagliari. We have Thomas Partey. He makes a return since October 2023. Edmond Ado, Elisha Owusu, Abu Francis, Osman Bukari, Abdul Fattah Isahaku, who has impressively performed for Leicester City in the English Championship. We've got Antoine Semenyo, Jordan Ayew, Ibrahim Osman. We have Kamal Din Suleimana, Brandon Thomas Asante. He is also the second player to have been earning his debut call-up. So Otoado has defended his decision to drop Andre Ayew, who has scored 5 goals in the French Ligue 1 this season.
I had a long talk with Andre, personal. I visited him and gave him the reasons why he's not in the squad at the moment. And I usually held it like this, that I don't talk too much about the players who are not in the squad, more about those who are in the squad. And for me, I can say I don't like I talk to players directly. I don't like to give information out about what we spoke about. So he's not part of the squad at the moment. Andre is, I mean, as everyone knows, a legend. He's a living legend of Ghana. What he has reached, it's unbelievable what he did for the country. It was a difficult decision, to be honest, because I like him. I like him as a person, also as a player. But this is the decision we took, and I like I said, it's not like we totally agreed, but I give him the explanation, and so I don't want to take it to another extent and say some things that people will write about and this and that. I know it's difficult maybe for you, as a press, to understand this, but I don't want to make it bigger than it is. Like I said, I have big respect for him. He's a living legend. He holds the record in games playing for the national team. He has, achieved things that just a few players from Ghana has achieved. And
so the 26 players who are called will be assembled at the University of Ghana Stadium tomorrow to begin preparations for the fixtures against Mali and the Central African Republic. That's how we end the sports here on JN Today. My name is Haruna Mubarak.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Showbiz segments with me, Jacqueline and Samar Yeboah. Family members of the 3-year-old Emmanuel Richard Ampoma, who died in an accident involving actor Lowen, are enraged by what they perceive as a biased handling of the incident. The victim's family has not yet made an official statement at the Zongo police station, where the case is under investigation. Kofi Abuaje, the elder brother of Jacob Kofi Ampoma, the victim's father, is particularly displeased with the perceived indifference from Lowen and the management. He insists that the family will only engage in discussions about the incident where a mature and respectful representatives are involved.
Police case in me lead case, Police for no, never doesn't kind of call. Now you could true statement, but now my brother so call assessment will confirm and the inspector.
We are yet to write a statement on it. We are yet to write a police statement on it tomorrow. We haven't concluded on the criminalities of it. Meanwhile, Lil Wayne and his management have shown utter indifference to us.
Sympathizing with the family, they come to annoy the family. There are certain formalities here. There was a no matter who seek said you war. If you be fear, a member of
Meanwhile, Accident Support Ghana is calling for the arrest of actor Lil Wayne Kojoinkan, citing recklessness on his part that led to the head-on collision on Saturday in Amakom in Ashanti region, which resulted in the death of the 3-year-old Emmanuel Richard Ampoma. They believe the actor should be held accountable for this action. And now, Reverend Cyril Crab is the president of the Accident Victim Support Ghana, and he's the one leading this call.
He should have been arrested by now. He should have been questioned by now. And I said proper policing because he should have been detained. He shouldn't have been released. This is an accident. It's an accident, head-on collision. Again, he should have been detained. That must be enforced. And he shouldn't have been allowed to be walking around because he himself was hurt. So his health matters. What if as he came out, he died? Mind you, he's the culprit. And we are going to get him to narrate the incident. We are going to use him to investigate the accident. And here is the case. He's out there. The night the case happened, the next day he went to church. It means this guy is sick. So he should have been taken to the police so that he will be questioned. The next step is to visit the deceased family. There they would have been consoled. There would have been some empathy, But you can see till there. And he's out there still talking. And there's a minor, precious one aside.
Well, we'll be bringing you more update on that story. Away from that, drama is brewing offstage at the National Theatre of Ghana as a copyright controversy casts a shadow over the upcoming play, The Legend of Akusika. George Apreku claims the play scheduled for June 1st, 2nd, 8th and 9th is the intellectual property of his late father, L.D. Apreku. With the opening night just around the corner, this legal scuffle is setting the stage for a real-life drama that could rival the show itself.
The Legend of Akusika is a stage adaptation of the folk tale Akusika, a story deeply rooted in communal law, handed down orally through generations. While the narrative of a young girl overcoming her deformity and societal rejection is timeless, the play, according to research, was authored by Professor Martin Owusu. Set to be produced by Nash Shoko, CEO of April Production, and the CEO of Image Bureau, George Quay, the production faces unexpected hurdles. In a letter dated May 28, 2024, George Apreku alleges that The Legend of Akusika is derived from his father's novel. He claims that the play's producers did not seek permission to adapt his father's work, stating this is a dramatization of the novel Akusika, written by the late L.D. Apreku. George Apreku, speaking to myjoyonline.com, expressed that while the play by Professor Martin Owusu might be inspired by his father's book, proper credits and permission were overlooked. In an effort to reach George Apreku and discuss further on Daybreak Hit on Hit FM, he declined, but made mention that family pressure led him to issue the statement, but future legal steps remain undecided.
In case they proceed with the play, what's going to happen? Are you suing them?
Well, that isn't the intention so far. That we haven't made up. I am speaking on behalf of the family. That's why I wouldn't want to go ahead with certain things. I have to talk to, because I'm not acting alone. I'm only my father's son, and there are several siblings.
Are these siblings aware you're taking this action?
Oh yes. They are aware.
Okay.
It was part of the family who drew my attention to it, and that's that we do this.
In response, the team lead for Image Bureau, George Quay, clarified that Professor Owusu's adaptation was based on the folktale itself, not Tintu's father's novel.
You can write, you can pick, if for instance his father's novel, someone can pick it up and turn it into a movie.
Well, it's a wrap for the showbiz segments with me, Jacqueline and Sumaya. Well, over to you, Aisha.
But I think that the police should actually come in. The Lil Wayne accident.
Everyone is calling for that.
I think that will calm nerves and actually for us to understand where we are with that case. But it's very unfortunate that the little boy had to lose his life. Thank you for bringing us showbiz, and that'll be it for the bulletin this afternoon. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Log on to myjournline.com. There's more of the news and updates of all the developing stories. See you again at 2.